What's up, YouTube? Today I am making a Vren the Relentless commander deck. I pulled Vren out of a little booster pack, and I thought he'd be pretty cool to make. I love the Bloomburrow stuff. Vren is a 2 blue and a black legendary rat rogue creature with Ward 2, and he has, if a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. At the beginning of each end step, create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens with this creature gets +1/+1 for each other rat you control, where X is the number of creatures your opponents control that were exiled this turn. And so because it's each end step, I think that could be pretty powerful if I take full advantage of it. This is my first sort of deck tech video. If you're a fan and you like it and you want to see more, drop a like, comment. I did originally want to do a Perforos God of the Forge deck. He's a card I got when I was like a kid. And I guess he's like one of the best mono red commander decks. So if you want to see that, let me know. I'll make one of those. I will say I'm newer, much newer, so to the game of Magic. So this is more of like how a new player would make a deck with a legendary creature that they found. So yeah, maybe that's what the series will be. So for now, this is my take on how a newer player who doesn't have a lot of card knowledge would make a commander deck with a new legendary creature they found. I do have one other deck that I've been putting quite a lot of work into. It is Dragon Lord Ojutai, and this is pretty much a blue-white control deck. So I do have some game knowledge, but I've only been really playing Commander for a month, 2 months maybe, really into it. So this is like my first deep dive into a deck. I'm at 102 cards. I got to figure that out. And that's the worst part. But yeah, so today we're doing Vren. We're going to get Vren cooking. And then maybe next time we'll do Perforos. And then maybe I'll do a walkthrough of my Ojutai deck. The goal is to get rats, and we want to get rats, and we want people's creatures to die each turn, because each end step I'll be able to get rats, and they'll get big based on the number of creatures that die. So I'm gonna hop over to EDH Rec. I haven't checked out like Scryfall or anything else like that, but you go to Vren, and you can put them in as commander. And I'm not here to copy and paste the deck. I'm here to get some reference. I'll eventually I'll look through my black and blue cards that I like, to put my spice on things. I don't want to make a deck somebody's already got. So we're going to do as commander. We're going to scroll through. I don't need to look at the new cards, but what I want to see is I want to see high synergy. And I was looking earlier, and I saw Piper of the Swarm. And, he's in 73% of the decks, but there's only 4,000 of them on EDH Rec. So there's not a lot of decks, but I still think that it'd be pretty fun. So that's what we're gonna do. We're definitely gonna do Piper of the Swarm, probably. So it says rats I control have menace, and I can pay 1 and a black and tap them and create a 1/1 black rat creature token. And then they will have menace, and then I can pay 2 a black and a black, sacrifice 3 rats, and I'll gain control of target creature. That's kind of a given. We'll put in Piper of the Swarm. Cheap way to get more rats to boost that Vren ability, right? So we're going to put Piper of the Swarm in there as our first creature. He's a 2-mana 1/3. But his ability is very strong in this deck. So, I'm not going to pick the top 5 high synergy cards, right? Because that's just not fun. But here we have Maro Nar. And dude, all these cards are new to me, so you guys are going to get to see my first reaction to these cards. I've never seen any of them before, which is fun. So all rats have fear. Sacrifice a rat. Put X 1/1 black rat creature tokens into play, where X is the number of rats I control. I don't know the fear mechanic, so there you already go. So this Maro Nar is pretty awesome. All rats have fear. That means they can only be blocked by black or artifact creatures. So a creature with fear can't be blocked by creatures of any other color except for artifact creatures. So you sacrifice a rat, you put X 1/1 black or X number of rats you control. I mean, that's OP ability. So maybe we'll think about that. Pretty good card. And we got Lord Skitter, Sewer King. Whenever another rat enters the battlefield under your control, exile up to one target card from an opponent's graveyard. Now that goes... Does that go along with Vren's ability? So Lord Skitter's pretty cool. I don't know if we're going to use him. I like the way he looks. I like his name. He's a Sewer King. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So maybe we will use him just based off of flavor reasons. Rats, sewers. Might need Lord Skitter. But I'm not looking to do the top three. So who knows? Lord Skitter, probably going to have to skip on him. We're not sure yet, though. Maybe we'll just keep it more lower side. There's got to be a cool printing of Maronar, I'm sure, as well. So we'll get Maronar in the maybe board. I mean, this one is cool. Okay, they have a cheaper extended art, which always is crazy to me. We'll have to consider him. I guess nobody likes the full art, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. Maronar. Nar. You tell me. So he's going to go into the maybe board. I mean, yeah, I feel like Lord Skitter would probably be pretty OP at some point and just make any graveyard pull deck not very fun. So we might skip out on him. Ogre Slumlord. Whenever another token creature dies, you may create a 1/1 black rat creature token. So... Oh, it's a non-token creature dies. And it gives all my rats Death Touch. That's pretty cool. Kind of overpowered. We'll see. So Ogre Slumlord, we're throwing him in there for now. I mean, it's a rat deck. I mean, if I pull Ogre Slumlord, then they're all Death Touch. You're gonna have to kill him. I don't think it's that overpowered. He's in there. Karumix the Rat King. The name, he might just already be in there. It's a Phyrexian rat. I love Phyrexian one. Oh, toxic one. We don't play with toxic. And it gives all my rats toxic. We're going to skip out on Karumonix the Rat King. I'm not looking to make a super overpowered, unfun deck. So we'll skip out on that. Who's this rat ninja wizard? Menace? Whenever Nashi, Searcher in the Dark, deals combat damage to a player, I may mill that many cards. You may put any number of legendary and or enchantment cards from among them into my hand. If you put no cards into your hand this way, put a +1/+1 counter on Nashi. That's pretty cool. We'll put him in the maybe board. I don't know how much milling I really want to be doing, but if I end up with a lot of legendary and enchantment creatures, I wouldn't mind getting them for free. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about that there. Enduring Curiosity. Cat Glimmer. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Whenever Enduring Curiosity dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment. Pretty awesome. We're going to throw Enduring Curiosity into the maybe board because, again, I don't know how crazy I want to be going with this deck. So, in the maybe board for Enduring Curiosity. Okay, let's go back to the high synergies here. Pack Rat, a 2-mana with Pack Rat's power and toughness are equal to the number of rats you control. No question. Discard a card, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of Pack Rat. Oh, man. Okay, Pack Rat's getting put in the deck, you know? Again, I don't think creatures are ever really that overpowered. Target removal, take care of it, you know? So Pack Rat is a pretty cool addition. I'm going to put him in there. And you see I'm avoiding... I don't want any toxic... I don't need to be exiling people's graveyards, not making it fun. First land, Swarm Yard. Tap to add colorless. Tap, regenerate target insect, rat, spider, or squirrel. The next time it would be destroyed, instead tap it, remove it from combat, and heal all damage on it. Wow. A little pricey It's going to go into the maybe board. Pretty cool card. Continue scrolling here. We have Valley Rotcaller. It is a Squirrel Warlock. You know, the Bloomburrow set is pretty freaking cool. It has Menace. Whenever Valley Rotcaller attacks, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of squirrels, bats, lizards, and rats you control. I think we're going to have to go with him. Valley Rotcaller. Persistent Marsh Stalker. Persistent Marsh Stalker gets +1/+0 for each rat you control. For each other rat I control. He's pretty cool. And then he has Threshold. Whenever you attack with one or more rats, which is all the time, if 7 or more cards are in my graveyard, I may pay 2 and a black. If I do, return Persistent Marsh Stalker from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Cool. So he's just a regenerating rat? Can I do that every time he dies? Yeah. Awesome. So he's going to go in there too. I think that's a pretty cool ability. So he never really dies if I hold on to 3 mana. And then here is Shallow Dread's Edict. Choose 1. This is a 1 mana, 1 black instant. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Each opponent sacrifices a creature token. Each opponent sacrifices a planeswalker. Pretty good card, because, you know, I could sacrifice all these rats I have. But yeah, we'll put Shallow Dread's Edict in the maybe board. Then we get down here to the top cards. Obviously, Counterspell is number 1. I will probably run some form of Counterspells. So we will go with just Counterspell for now. Kindred Discovery. As Kindred Discovery enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever a creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card. Well, I do love to draw, and that's pretty crazy. So, not very flavorful, so we'll throw it in the maybe board. Again, I'm not looking to make the deck OP. I'm looking to make it fun, win with a bunch of rats. Feed the Swarm. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. That's the thing there with black. Is their removal spells a lot of the time will take life from you. So yeah, I don't know about Feed the Swarm. I'm sure there's a lot of blue target removal spells I could use. Here we have a Cursed Martyr for 1 and a black. When a Cursed Martyr enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a non-token creature. He's a zombie warrior. I get it's cool because everybody has to sacrifice something and I can just sack a rat. Maybe I'll end up realizing I want to use a lot of sacrificing rats. So we'll throw a Cursed Martyr in the maybe board again because I kind of want this to be a lot of rats and he's not very ratish. We have Soul Shatter. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest converted mana cost among creatures and planeswalkers they control. I think I'm going to pass on that. And we have Shoreline Looter. It's a rat rogue, a blue rat. Our first blue rat, maybe. Shoreline Looter can't be blocked. Definitely our first blue rat. Whenever Shoreline Looter deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Then discard a card unless 7 or more cards are in your graveyard. Oh yeah, we like Shoreline Looter. Azure Beastbinder. A 1/1 blue rat rogue. With Vigilance, Azure Beastbinder can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or greater. Whenever Azure Beastbinder attacks, up to 1 target artifact, creature, or planeswalker an opponent controls loses all abilities until your next turn. If it's a creature, it also has base power and toughness 2/2 until your next turn. Wow. That's going to have to go in there for sure. Another great blue rat. And then we have Grave Pact. 1 and 3 black. Whenever a creature you control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. So that's pretty much Dictate of Urbos. I have a Dictative Verbose, so I could. So is me owning it count? So that's 3, 4, 5 mana, and this one is. So Grave Pact is kind of a better Dictative Verbose. It's cheaper. You need the black, but whenever a creature control dies, yeah, I mean, we're gonna throw. I don't know. Dictative Verbose isn't very fun. Grave Pact wouldn't be very fun. I do own the card. So we will consider that. Plague Crafter is our next creature. When Plague Crafter enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card. Pretty awesome. And if I can build the deck with just rats and avoiding the sacrificing rat thing, I will do that. But if it turns out I need it, we will implement it. So, okay. Now we're down to the top creatures. Oh, Lord Skitter's Butcher. For 2 and 1 black, it is a rat peasant. I think this guy's already in the deck, no question. When Lord Skitter's Butcher enters the battlefield, choose 1. Create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. You may sacrifice another creature. If you do, scry 2, then draw a card. Creatures you control gain menace until the end of turn. Pretty awesome. Too bad it's only when he enters the battlefield. He's pretty cool, though. So we'll get Lord Skitter's Butcher in here. Maybe I could get some flickering effects going on, get his thing to happen more than once. I'm going to add all the cards I really like. Then I'm going to go through, say, I need this amount of draw, I need this amount of ramp, I need this amount of counter, I need this many creatures. I'm going to cut it down that way, and then I'm going to tune it to my attitude and what I really like and what I want the deck to be after that. So moving on, we have a Fleshbang Martyr. When Fleshbang Martyr enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature. So yeah, I can see that a lot of people like the sacrificing stuff with this deck, so maybe we might have to do that if it does turn out to be one of the only win cons. But for now, it's all going to go into the maybe board. And if we can avoid it, we're going to avoid it. There is only 4,000 of these decks, so I can't imagine it's that versatile, but I just found this card and I just wanted to build it. So Tangled Colony. Tangled Colony can't block. When Tangled Colony dies, create X 1/1 black rat creature tokens with this creature can't block, where X is a number, or where X is the amount of damage dealt to it this turn. So if I block with Tangled Colony, I get to create a ton of rats, but they can't block. 2 mana 3/2, but he can't block, and I have to sacrifice him to get the ability off. I see where it's coming from now. Well, I've never really done a sacrificing deck anyway, so I won't hate it if I do end up going that route. Here you go. This is the emotions of a Commander player building a deck. Into the maybe board, Tangled Colony goes. Next we have Raids. I hear a lot about Raids. Don't know much. I just know the name. Legendary nightmare creature for 1 and 2 black. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life, and you draw a card. So Raids is pretty awesome. I see now. See. So Raids is gonna go on the maybe board. Maybe we can avoid this whole sacrificing thing. Next we have probably the coolest one yet. Ashcoat of the Shadow Swarm. 3 and a black, a legendary rat warlock. Whenever Ashcoat of the Shadow Swarm attacks or blocks, other rats you control get +X until the end of turn, where X is the number of rats you control. At the beginning of... Oh my god, I read the price of this card, guys. It is not happening. Just noticing, he is a $59 card on Card Kingdom. That's unfortunate. At the beginning of your end step, you may mill 4 cards. Pretty cool guy. Pretty cool guy, Ashcoat is. Unfortunate. Reprint him. Okay, so I kind of have the Rough Shot 99 figured out. So what I'm going to do now is just play test it a little bit. This is called Gold Fishing. We are coming in right under $100 for the cards that aren't in my collection using TCG players, so right around $100, $97. I didn't go too far into the sacrificing creatures thing, kind of more on just creating a ton of rats and either killing all those rats at once to kill everybody and everybody else's things, or just using the rats to kill everybody. So we're gonna goldfish this a few times, see how well it works. If there's anything I should add, take out. I made a few artifact changes, a couple ramp changes. Yeah, so let's get into it. All right, so in my hand we have a land, a thought vessel. Already one land. I don't like that, so I'm gonna mulligan. So boom, 2 lands. We got thought vessel, we got Idol of Oblivion, and we got the Meathook Massacre. So I got my lands, I got my ramp, I got my win con, I got a 3-drop creature, not the best. So we're gonna keep this hand. I'm gonna play a swamp, draw for turn. So I'm gonna draw for turn, which gave me this Temple of Deceit. Play that land, and then we're gonna go and click next turn. And I just do this a good amount of times to really get the feel of the deck. So boom, boom, 2. We tap these 2. And we'll play the Thought Vessel. Okay. Tap 2 blue, or 2 of any color and 1 blue. We'll play the Mind Whisker. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1, and then as long as there's 7 more cards in my graveyard, creatures my opponents control get -1, -0. So little guy out there lets me surveil 1 every turn. So new turn. We probably would have gotten some rats out by now. Tap 2, create Idol of Oblivion. This is a slower hand start. I don't want to go too much deeper. So we'll just restart. I'll keep this 2 lands keep. Alright, that's all I need to see. Draw for turn, enters tapped. New turn. Soul Ring, beautiful. Play a land, tap, Soul Ring. I got my pack rat. Let's have 1, 2, 3. Use 2 of it for the pack rat. Each opponent will discard a card. Kind of sucks for them. New turn. Honestly, the burglar rat might come out because, you know, he's a cool little 2-drop, a little bit upside, but I don't really have any discard triggers happening. So commander's out turn 3. Beautiful. With the Soul Ring, so that's great. New turn. Maybe we killed something and got a rat, we'll say. We'll tap 2, we'll play some more ramp. Play our Cheering Witch. Whenever she enters, create a number of 1/1 black rat creature tokens equal to the number of opponents I have. Made my 4 rat tokens. So boom, now we got 4 rats. Right, you don't have to do all this if you're goldfishing. You don't want to do all the extra stuff. This is just trying to give you guys a better visual. So Vren would be going. We got this guy out. He's probably dead by now. I could have sacrificed him. But other than that, you know, I got a removal spell. Another removal spell. Some more rats. We could say I played that. Now it's a creature in my graveyard. Alright, so I have kind of just what I'm going to call the final rough 100. This is what I'm going to rock with. Probably going to end up taking like Sword of the Squeak out and a few other cards and swapping them for, you know, other better options, maybe things that make more rats and whatnot. Braids was a card I liked a lot, but I'm starting to realize maybe I'll take Braids out. So yeah, I hope this guy's helped you understand a little bit of how to make your own deck. You know, there's plenty of videos that'll show you like better mana bases and whatnot, but this is like more of a budget. So, you know, normally you would have all the dual sack lands, the pain lands, stuff like that. But again, trying to be somewhat on a budget. This is a good card I threw in here to give all the rats flying, stuff like that. Problems you think you might need to solve, a couple counter spells. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this deck tech video, and I will be making more soon.